Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Deveji, your host. I'm welcoming you episode 123. This is our fifth season, and that's our second episode in New Year in 2026. Today is January 6, 2026. Code of the day. As you know, we have a great partnership with missionstatements.com, and we share the code of the day with you. Today's code is: who you are is defined by what you are willing to struggle for. And today's number is 280 billion. Annually, that's how much is spent in US on mental health and substance use. $280 billion. All right, so we have a great guest, and I'm very excited to welcome our guest. Before we get started, one announcement. Well, as you know, the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business, is growing really fast. And we are also expanding our business community, of course, with your help and support. We truly appreciate it. In the meantime, we are also supporting businesses, as you know. One of our mission in the American Business Podcast is to support, promote, and uplift American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and the American business community. In this sense, our new service is podcasting as a service. Now you can have your own branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast Network. And you can promote your brand, your product, and your service within the American Business Podcast. And you can be in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers and listeners instantly. This is a new service that I'm proud to share with you. And we already have great organizations starting to use this service. And with this, we'll help businesses to grow through the podcasting, and they'll enjoy the benefits of the American Business Podcast expertise in business podcasting field. So I just want to share this with you. If you're interested, please send us an email, PAS, as in podcasting as a service, at americanpodcast.tv. That's the website. That's the email address that you can get in touch with us for business podcasting as a service with the American Business Podcast. All right, great. Let's invite our guest to our virtual stage and let's get the conversation started. Hello, Kimberly. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for being with us today. Well, today is our second episode in New Year in 2026. So I'm excited to have you in the American Business Podcast, and it's very nice to meet you today.
You as well.
I hope you had a nice holiday season.
I did. It was nice and restful, quiet, just the way I like it. How about you?
That was actually pretty good. A lot of family time, quality time. So I'm really grateful. So that was a special time for me with my loved ones, and that was really good. Now we are back from the holiday season, energized in the American Business Podcast, and we have a lot to share and create for our business communities in the American Business Podcast. So we are absolutely fired up and motivated.
Very nice.
How was 2025 for you? Any reflections on the previous year?
Yes, 2025 was expensive. Lots of investments, but these are things that will be paying off for me very well in 2026. I'm never, as a business owner, never afraid to invest in myself or my business. So 2025 was a testament to that.
That's really exciting. Hopefully 2026 will be even better
Yes.
for all of us. That's our hope, and we're gonna work for it. Well, let's get started if that's okay. As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our viewers and to our listeners?
Sure. Thank you. I'm Kimberly Mitchell. I am the owner of Ujuzi, the training and AI agent agency. I'm also an author to the Mirror Method on Amazon. I am the inventor of Zora/Anthem bra and the creator of the Ignite brand of products, including Journey to Joy and the True Course, where we work on challenging the beliefs that we hold for ourselves.
I understand you're also a veteran.
I definitely am a veteran. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Thank you for your service. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we also welcome authors in the American Business Podcast. So we love to, learn more about your book and a little bit of insights about your book as well in this interview, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Would you please tell us about your career journey a little bit? How did you get started? How your career journey has unfolded over the years?
Oh, wow. Yes. So my journey started in the military, as we just spoke about. I went in as right out of high school, but I went in as a vehicle mechanic. Now, what am I going to do with that after 4 years? I had no idea. So when I got out, I had to pretty much reinvent myself, start from scratch. And I got into the corporate world and spent 25 years just in the training industry in the corporate arena. Through that, I got exposure to small businesses and worked for a small startup for some time that grew very, very large. They're still around right now, an aerial photography company. But that experience allowed me to really understand and experience what it takes to build a small business, and I was hooked. So I started my small business on the side with an event rental business. That was um, that was an experience, I'll say. And then COVID came, and that was a convenient way to exit out of that business and really get into the training business, which is really where my heart lies, and working with other micro enterprises and small entrepreneurs. So that's really where I've started building that business, and it's really taken off and done well. While that was going, I also was toying with a bra, and and for years I had been wanting to do something different with that and reimagine what existed already. So this 2025 is when I was able to start really getting serious about that, and we are soon to be going into our provisional patent within the next couple of weeks. Very excited about that. But
Yes.
probably one of the bigger, endeavors for me has been the Ignite brand of products, because while I was building that business, while I was doing all that work, and when I was working in the corporate world, these were not small contracts. I worked with the 2010 census. I worked with the Department of Finance for the government, working with, very large corporations that did huge projects that should have been more gratifying for me than they were. But I realized that I was battling myself in a sense. And that led me to really start seeking a process, seeking a solution to this depletion that I was feeling despite the successes that I achieved. And that's what led me to the Ignite brand of products, which really talks about the beliefs we hold about ourselves and how those beliefs turn into choices. Those choices turn into the reflection of the life that we live.
How is your day to day work experience? What are the exciting and challenging parts of your work on daily basis?
Oh, well, I will say when you have all of those endeavors going on simultaneously, the day to day is a little crazy. I will say that I spend most of my day on the computer. I am probably 12 hours out of a day in one spot, but on that computer, sometimes it is searching for information for the bra. Sometimes it is coming up with marketing material for the Ignite brand of products, getting the website, the language right on the website. And sometimes it is really researching and watching YouTube and video after video on AI and AI agents and all that's going on in the AI world. So it's a varied day all day long.
Well, we love to hear about your AI in a minute. It's coming up. So, what is your vision for your company, for your company's future?
Oh, wow. My vision for the company is to really help people understand the importance of that self-inflection and how it plays out both in your personal life and your professional life, most specifically if you're a business owner, because we have full access as when we get into the workforce, full access to our supervisors, our peers, but very rarely do we get to understand what the owner's day is like. And the result of that is many of us step out and start our businesses pretty much like a supervisor who is still an employee. So we have that employee mindset, and we're really focused on the function of the business, the deliverable of the business, as opposed to the administration, just because we just don't know. We didn't have access to what that looked like. And understanding how we have to rewind the tape and go back and really get to the core of what we believe about ourselves. Do we believe we're business owners? Do we believe we have the capacity to build a sustainable business that employs people, that brings in several thousands of dollars, that helps you live your dreams and feed your families and do all the things you dreamed of doing when you started your business? It starts in the mind.
When you think about your company and the fields that you are in, um, what are the biggest challenges facing the organization? You will say.
Ah, so many. Because when you're talking about the bra, just inventing is a challenge. It's really something that you don't really have access to the process, even though it's spelled out, so to speak, on the patent office website. It's really not. It's really not something that you can decipher and digest into how this really works. So navigating that whole process is a challenge when you're talking about being a female owner, a Black female owner, building these businesses from scratch, and all of the ways that marketing change, algorithms change, all the things that are going on, just keeping up with all of that. Those are challenges, as well as we go back to saying that self-care, making sure that you are really taking care of you as the foundation, because if your health isn't where it needs to be, if your mindset isn't where it needs to be, if you're not really tuned into who you are and what you need, then nothing goes forward. That everything you do in your business will be a challenge.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great insight. Well, let's talk about the state of entrepreneurship a little bit. You touch it a little bit actually, but if we can expand on it. So there are many entrepreneurs. There are many future entrepreneurs. They like to get into market. They like to start their own business. They like to have the freedom when the time comes. So how do you see the state of entrepreneurship in US nowadays? Any challenges, opportunities based on your observation in general?
Oh my, yes. I will say that now is probably one of the best times ever to be an entrepreneur. The technology is allowing us to do things and operate at a level that we would have needed significant resources to be able to do before. When we look at the AI revolution and what that's bringing to a small, early stage entrepreneur, that they can, out of the gate, they can have lead generation in place, they can have customer support in place, they can have sales support in place, they can have all of this technology that's built right into the business from day one. It is exciting.
Yes, yes, a lot of resources, a lot of resources.
Mhm.
And you just talk about technology, so I think it's time to talk about AI now. How do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays, based on your experience and observation?
I think that it is going to allow some of the smaller businesses to rise in such a way that they are able to compete at a level that they never would have been able to otherwise. Just being able to have the back and forth as you use AI as a collaborator, as a silent business partner, that alone will unlock a level of success for some business owners that they would never have been able to do otherwise. But when you also talk about especially the early stage entrepreneur who can build that technology in to kind of bring up the rear and fill in the gaps where they may be lacking. They may not have the skill and say typing. If you have a business owner who really is not great with typing, you can have AI create documents that are pitch perfect that you don't ever have to worry about, and being able to engage with your own customers at a level that kind of brings you up, then it's really amazing, an amazing time to be a business owner.
Yes, and you position AI as a silent partner. That's also an interesting point, and it makes a lot of sense in a way
Mhm.
because we can utilize it in so many ways to further our businesses, to be more productive
Yes.
and produce quicker than we usually normally do. It's because it makes things much easier, quicker in that sense. So that's really advantageous for organizations.
Yes.
Um, so you are a business owner and an entrepreneur, and you have years of experience. Um, how to survive uncertainty and crisis in business based on your experience?
Well, my philosophy has always been I can't control out there, I can control in here. So the way to navigate around that chaos and uncertainty is by being certain who you are and focusing on your own authenticity. When you look at how businesses operate on a fundamental level, you are filling a gap in the marketplace that is addressing a need that the marketplace has told you exists, and if you're able to speak authentically about that solution and able to speak authentically to your customers, your business will survive all of the other uncertainty. But that really comes back to really understanding who you are and what you bring to the table when you're talking about opening a business.
And based on your experience so far, what are the best marketing practices for the highest ROI nowadays?
Again, that go back to authenticity. When no matter what channel that you're on, if you're chasing trends, if you're out here doing things that don't feel authentic to you or your business, if you haven't set up the brand for your business and you haven't really established who you are, you're just out here, then none of the marketing tools are going to be successful for you. You really have to center it on, it sounds a little egocentric, but business is really, it starts with you and everything springs forth from you. So when you really take the moment to understand what you want to say, who you want to say it to, and what represents your business and your brand, then it won't even matter which marketing tool you use. They'll all work.
Yes, I love your approach. So during our first episode in 2026, yesterday, we had a similar conversation, and just to support your point, actually, the channels that we utilize, say email or social media, others, we can utilize them, but the core thing is, what is our company doing? What are our values? How we position ourselves as an organization? So these fundamentals, just like you mentioned, once they set in place, once you position your organization right where they're supposed to be, which you can pivot later on as the market
Yes,
is evolving and changing, then the rest of the channels, social media, email, SMS, text messages, and so on, will follow.
that's right.
That is actually the fundamental practice, and I'm happy to hear that from you, because there is always a confusion in the market, right? So when you talk about marketing, they mix it with sales, they mix it with advertising, they mix it with all different things. But fundamentally, it just starts with just what you just mentioned: who you are as an organization, your values,
Mhm.
your positioning, what makes you different. That is marketing 101 in a way.
That's
But
it.
many people confused about it. So this is a great way to clarify it in the American Business Podcast.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, how would you define leadership from your point of view? And what are the great leadership qualities a great leader must have?
Oh, wow. So, leadership is, I would define leadership as support. When you are the leader in the group, it's really your job to support them in being the best they can be in their roles. And in order to do that, I like to say you have to have joy as a baseline, which is very counterintuitive when you think of the soft, mushy joy feeling versus the leadership and the strong positioning that that role has. But when you are joyful, when you have figured out what brings you joy, then you then are going to support your team in helping them discover the same things. So if you think about it like this, if you have something that needs to be done that everybody hates to do, moving the boxes or getting out and cold calling, which is very nerve wracking for some folks, but you're able to understand where the joy is both in yourself and in your teammates, then you're able to speak to your customers on a whole different level. You start to assume that your customers want to experience that same joy that you are experiencing. And then, therefore, you're able to bring that into the fold on a whole circular level, that you have that established, your teammates have that established, your customers have it established. And it is really at the center of all that you're doing, which is very challenging for some people to really conceptualize how joy and because joy is such a woo concept, but really, joy is that constant state. The happiness is the fluctuating piece, but the joy is that constant state. And when you are centered on that, that really gives you a different lens through which you operate your business and the way you interact with your team.
Have you had any role models, any mentors who help you shape your career perspective over the years?
Yes, I would say there were two role models that really impacted me. One was my very first boss. He was very I don't necessarily want to say eccentric. He was brilliant, and people were always seeking answers. But his style was very much, I want to help you and support you in finding your answers versus me telling you the answer. So he created an environment where everyone was able to flourish and grow at their pace, at their own pace, and really expand beyond the boundaries of what they thought they could ever do. And then the second was my last boss, actually, and he operated in very much a land of possibilities. So his first response is always yes. How do we get to yes? And once we can get to yes, then the possibilities are expanded exponentially. So those two points of view have always kind of shaped the way I operate in my business.
If there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with us?
Okay, the lesson that that I learned that probably was the hardest is don't take it personal. Business is not personal. And when you are taking your customers' no as a personal rejection, it gets in the way of how you're able to serve them. And when you're working with your team and as a business owner, and you don't know how to say no when the answer needs to be no because you are attached to how they're going to feel about you, then that also gets into the way of how you're going to be able to operate with your team. So that was a challenge. That was a lesson that I had to learn early on is don't take it personal. You have to really elevate above all of that and look at what's best for the business.
Yes, I love the way you explain it. It's actually
Mhm.
very, very, very insightful. Um, well, sometimes in business, things they don't go in our way. Sometimes there are challenges. So, how to stay motivated and inspired in times of challenges in business?
I'm gonna go right back to that joy. When you have that as your baseline, then you understand that things are gonna go left, things are gonna go right, but where however they go, you're able to adapt and adjust as necessary. I've had many, many, especially in 2025, as I am reaching out and trying to build and expand and do different things, many no's, many rejections, many no thank yous, many things that I thought were gonna go great that did not go great. But at the end of the day, those are all lessons. Those are all things that will shape my 2026. And if you believe that these things happen for you instead of to you, then that really puts a different perspective on it. And you're able to utilize the lessons to move forward in the business.
What is your biggest interest outside of work?
My biggest interest outside of work, that's such a tough one just because my work and my play overlap, because I'm a
I'm sure,
huge
yes.
lover of technology.
Mhm.
So whenever I'm not technically working, I'm still doing something on this computer.
Yes,
Still.
it makes sense. Absolutely. Actually, we keep talking about life work balance, which is I can say I practice it myself, uh, but I actually was this podcast is also I see it as my school. I'm learning from you. I'm also learning from other professionals. That's a great resource, the best one so far in my life. So last year in one of our episodes, one of our guests actually he described it as life work integration. I was like, that is the
Mm.
term that I've been looking for. That's the integration. Yes. So to your point, so when you own a business, um, then it becomes a part of your life. So even though that's what I'm understanding from your description as well. So even though you're not doing the work, you are thinking about the work, even if it's a weekend or if after hours and so on. That's also what I understand from your
Oh,
answer.
absolutely, because when you think about it, the business is an outgrowth of you. It's birthed almost by you, physically, like, I feel like I just shot
It
this
is
out
you.
into the world,
It is
right?
you, right?
It's
It is you.
you.
Yeah, that's
So,
it. Yes.
even when the clock turns off, you're still you. You're still doing the things that brought you to the place that you started that business. So you it's integration is a perfect word.
Yes, yes. I love it. Well, if you have a chance to go back history, personally or historically, to what time period would you like to go back and why?
If I could go back to any time, I'm a Gen Xer. I would immediately go back to the '80s. love I love the '80s, everything about it, the fashion, the music, the so creative, everything was so accepting. I mean, you could do whatever you wanted to do, and it was alright in the '80s. I loved it.
Is there a book, a show, a movie that help you shape your career perspective over the years?
Oh, over the years, I would say that the book that shaped my career over the years is The Goal. I really enjoyed that book. And the movie would be The Founder, the story of Ray Kroc, because I'm a late bloomer when it comes to business and especially this level of business. And so it was very good to see Ray Kroc started at 55. And so that hearing that and watching that story and watching his grind was very inspirational to me.
It's never too late.
That's right.
Never too late. That's the lesson. Very motivational.
Mm.
Well, what is the best career business advice that you ever received, and what is the worst career advice that you ever received?
Ooh, I would say, let me
Which one you want
start
to go
with
for first? Yes, which one?
the worst.
First, okay, let's go on first.
The worst business advice I ever received was that I should not pay attention to computers because they are not going to be around for very long. Not, very few people are going to
That
want
is
to
the
use.
worst, that's for sure. Yes.
I still remember that to this day.
And the best one you will say?
Oh, the best advice that I got was to never stop learning. And we have a school here called School Without Walls, and that's the framework that they use to say don't confine your learning to a classroom. Be able to learn everywhere and anywhere. And I've taken that with me throughout my whole career and my whole life actually.
Is there a question that you had been expecting me to ask you, but I didn't ask you?
Yeah, I would have expected you to ask me what made me go into the military as a vehicle mechanic.
Okay. Yes. Would you please tell us what made you go to the military as a mechanic? And so when we say mechanic, can you just expand on it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I was working on 2.5 ton trucks and 5 ton trucks, and I was uh, taking them apart, replacing working in the engine,
Oh,
doing
wow.
maintenance on them,
That's
all
quite
of
a work.
those. Yeah.
Amazing.
What was even more curious is that the entire time I was in the military, I did not know how to drive.
Wow.
So
So you didn't know how to drive, but you knew how to fix them. Is that what you're saying? Oh, wow.
yes, and
Amazing.
I went in there just as a measure of rebellion. My mother wanted me to go to college and be a writer, and I wanted to be rebellious and say I'm gonna go in the military as a mechanic. And at the
Wow.
end of the 4 years, she's standing at the door going, "How'd that work out for you?" Because here you are out of the military, probably not gonna be a mechanic.
Wow, that's very interesting. Well, so you are also an inventor, you mentioned, right?
Yes.
So, well, you are the second inventor in the American Business Podcast, just so you know.
Oh,
So we had one, Lisa Escolisi from New Jersey, based in New Jersey. So she was very generous to share her insights and professional wisdom with us. And second time we are talking about inventing,
mhm.
and you're our second inventor in the American
Nice.
Business Podcast. Yes. So how what motivates you to invent things, find solutions? I must say, how would you describe it?
It's actually just like any other business when you think about it. S Being an inventor is about filling a need. You're just instead of iterating something that already exists, you're creating something brand new from scratch, which is similar to what we do with our businesses. We see a need and we create a business to fill that need. And that's the way I approach this invention because it is something that I live with every day. And so it really became a mindset issue for years to say, mm, surely someone else has thought about this. Surely there's a reason that this doesn't exist already. There's a reason why we're suffering the way we are with these poorly designed bras. Until I finally said, you can be instead of looking for someone else to solve this problem, you can solve it. And then I said, why not me? That's what I do. And that's how it started.
You're also an author.
Yes,
Can you tell us about your book a little bit?
absolutely. The book is Hey Beautiful, The Mirror Method. And it is born from listening to primarily women really tear themselves down in the mirror. We get all dressed up and get ready to go to work, and we stop at the mirror, and all we see are flaws. Oh, my hair. Oh, my face. Oh, my makeup. Oh, it's just terrible. And then we walk out with covered in self inflicted wounds trying to get through the day. When I'm saying we really our voice needs to be the most loving voice that we hear every single day. And so the book is really stepping you through a process where you retrain yourself, retrain your voice to when you look in that mirror, you can do nothing but support yourself. And the difference it makes in how you interact with the rest of the world is incredible.
Yes, sounds like a very inspirational book, very motivational as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, in the American Business Podcast, we love authors, published authors. We love books. It is because books are very educational. We learn from them, and I also have a lot of respect to authors because I know it takes hard work to put the book together. It's a lot of
Mhm,
work, a lot of insights. It also shows your generosity. You are also sharing your insights with
mhm.
others. So, in that sense, we always welcome talking about books in the
Great.
American Business Podcast.
Oh,
So you
that's
came to the right
fantastic.
place. All right, sounds good. Well, we have a tradition in the American Business Podcast, and so I have a question for you coming from our previous guest, and after that, I'll ask you to leave me a question for our coming guest.
Okay.
So the question from the previous guest is, what are you planning to do in 2026 in your company to be authentic?
Ooh. Let me see, because I think I'm always striving to be authentic in my business. But in 2026, I probably will be my most authentic by expressing myself across all three seemingly very different endeavors, but all from a foundational level are solving a problem, and solving a problem by bringing something to life that probably doesn't already exist today. So my authenticity will show in my solutions or through my solutions.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, I really appreciate this variety and depth that you just mentioned. Um, it is because it actually you actually create more value for community
Mhm.
and for your business as well in general. So in that sense, it is actually very beneficial for the business community as well as the market. So this is really inspiring. What question would you like to leave with me for our next guest?
Okay, for the next guest, I would say to think of the most challenging issue you're dealing with on a personal level and identify what it is you must believe about yourself in order for this to be an issue for you.
Okay, we'll make sure to ask that in the next American Business Podcast episode. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
What is your advice for the next generation business professionals?
Start. Don't hide. This is a very different time frame. Social media has brought a different slant than what I grew up with in terms of exposure and the safety around being exposed. But when you are talking about expression and you're talking about the joy that comes from being authentic, the feeling that you get when you are not switching and code switching from one persona to another, you can't put a price tag on that. So don't let this fear of visibility cause you to stand behind what you really are meant to bring into the world.
Well, do you have any question that you would like to ask me in the American Business Podcast?
Yes, I would. I would love to know what the gap in the marketplace was that you saw that you wanted to fill with this podcast.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a great question. Thank you for asking. Well, so we started it last year, February, February 28th. So it hasn't been a year yet. And um, so within these 10 months, we have more than a million views on YouTube. We have more than 100,000 subscribers. So it shows we are doing something right. So what made us start it was I actually have been I had been watching podcasts, especially business podcasts, for a long time, and I couldn't find that truly educational, informative business podcast. So either they are so niche, focus on just one piece of the business, let's say real estate or e-commerce or some part of it. Um, or they are too political. So you cannot just learn; they cannot just stop being political without sharing the insights. So you can't really learn anything. All you hear is about politics. So I've been just seeing these productions, and I felt the need myself, and I saw the need in the market, the gap, and I said, hey, I should just do it. I just fill the gap. I'll just address this. And that's how it was born. And from day one, it's always been educational, the American Business Podcast, always informative. And we also add the live first. So 99% of our episodes are live, no polishing, no editing. We are who we are, and that's how we are. That's how we are in front of our audience, very authentic and non-political.
Mm-hmm.
So we are talking about ideas. We are talking about business. Politics is out of these podcasts, and that is how it has been running for 10 months. And the need to have these informative podcast that actually started the podcast, American Business Podcast.
That is fantastic. And congratulations on such a success.
I
That's
appreciate
amazing.
it. Yes, thank you. So from day one, we also added one more mission, in addition to being educational and informative in terms of content, and that is we support, we promote, and we uplift American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and business community. So that is the expansion of it for 2026, which makes a lot of sense. So we'll keep working on it, and we have uh, a lot of work to do, a lot of episodes to create to fulfill this mission.
Oh, well, you're doing a great job. I'm
Appreciate
loving
it.
it. So
Well,
thank you.
with you and our audience together, we are creating it all together, day by day, episode by episode, just like knitting, right? You knit it just like that, just piece by piece. So it's coming together. So this is a community right now. That's how we are seeing the American Business Podcast.
Hmm.
It's more than a podcast. We are a community that we learn, we support each other, we uplift each other, and we create these positive learning environment, continuous improvement all the time as professionals.
Beautiful.
So that's where we are going.
Nice. Well,
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, for those who like to continue this conversation with you, what is the best way that they can get in touch with you, learn about your organizations, companies, and get in touch with you?
sure. You can reach me at kimm.co, kim.co. That's the website. Or on socials, I'm KIMMDOTCO. So kim.co on socials.
Kimberly, thank you so much for being with us in your busy schedule. Thank you for being so generous to share your professional insight and your professional wisdom with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a pure pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine, and hope to get in touch again in the American Business Podcast.
Anytime.
Thank you, and Happy New Year again.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Well, to our audience and to our listeners, we'll be right back after a quick break. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit, Reddit for Business. Reddit has more than 400 million weekly visitors. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable. Reddit is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on. When you spend $500, you'll get $500 in ad credit from Reddit. True story. I am a Reddit user. Anytime I need feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit. I get the real answers, real feedback from real people, from Reddit communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising for your business. Get the visibility for your company, your products, and services. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Brother. From large companies to small offices, Brother has powerful printers and all-in-ones for your growing business. Scan the QR code and find the best printers for your needs. When you scan the QR code, you can see the entire collection, business office equipment collection of Brother USA, and pick the one that you like. You'll find printers, labels, toners, all-in-ones, and other office equipment available on Brother website when you scan the QR code. Scan the QR code and start shopping for Brother office equipment today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Wizen. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with Wizen. Trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. Wizen helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAT, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for Wizen today. Thank you very much. Support for the show comes from Yelp. You know, I've been talking to more than 100 business owners in the American Business Podcast. Do you know the biggest problem for small businesses nowadays? It is visibility. That is why you should sign up and list your business on Yelp for Business. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, the form will show up on your screen and you can sign up on the registration form. It comes with free trial with no obligation. Make it easy for your customers to find you. Do you know there are more than 70 million customers visiting Yelp website looking for services from businesses just like yours? Restaurants, home services, professional services, and many other businesses are being searched on Yelp on daily basis. That's a great opportunity. If you list your business on Yelp, you'll be findable, searchable, and you'll be visible. When you are visible, when your customers are able to find you, you're in business. You can get opportunities, you can get leads, you can build a healthy and profitable pipeline. Consider Yelp for Business. Scan the QR code, sign up, and start your free trial. It comes with free trial. Very comfortable, no obligation. List your business and start getting the results and enjoy the benefits of Yelp Business. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Baker. It is time to digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps designed for small and mid-sized companies as well as enterprise-level companies to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I'd like to talk about one of the Anywhere apps that's very popular in the US. It is called Nonprofit Management Anywhere. If you are a nonprofit and you like to manage your donations, volunteers, fundraising events, your grants, and other documents for compliance and operational purposes, consider Nonprofit Management Anywhere. It is a completely cloud service. You can start using it today with no need for local installation on your server or on your local laptop and computers. It is user-friendly and it's easy to deploy, and you can start using it today. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about Anywhere apps, including Nonprofit Management Anywhere. Well, there is more. If you'd like to talk to me directly about Anywhere apps, you can just send me an email directly, kevin@kirkconsulting.com. Anywhere apps are modern, they are easy to use, they are affordable, practical, and more importantly, that's designed for you to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Scan the QR code or just send me a direct email, kevin@kirkconsulting.com. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Invicta. Invicta is known for its stylish watches, both for men and women. Invicta is offering unisex watches as well. I have a confession. I am an Invicta fan and I've been using Invicta watches for many, many years. This one is 57mm Invicta watch, automatic. Because it's black color, it goes well with my business outfit. And because it's automatic, I don't need batteries for my watch. It gets the energy by me just moving the watch from my wrist. So it creates energy and it can go pretty much non-stop. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, you'll be able to see the Invicta watch collection. And you can pick the one that you like based on the color, style, and technology. Please scan the QR code, start shopping today, and join me using Invicta. I'm sure you'll like it. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for being with me in the American Business Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast, please send us an email, guestbooking@americanpodcast.tv. We also welcome sponsors and advertisers, companies, organizations, as well as nonprofits. You can send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. As I mentioned earlier, we started Business Podcast as a service offering. If you like to have your company branded podcast channel within the American Business Network, we are welcoming these conversations and you can send us an email. It is PAAS, podcast as a service, that's the acronym, at americanpodcast.tv. I also like to invite you to our website, americanpodcast.tv, to see our coming schedule, also to learn more about the American Business Podcast. Any developments, updates, we put it on our website and we keep it updated. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. I'm looking forward to having you in the next The American Business Podcast episode. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. Thank you very much.